Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the watch party. I'm Jim Williams, along with my expert and partner in crime, Sean Miller. Sean, U.S. Holland. It's a clockwork orange versus the USA. Your thoughts on the games? We look out, see both flags are about to play the anthems. We're getting close.
Yeah, I think this is a tough game for the USA here. This Netherlands team is really good. I think they could win the game. Yes, USA. Would it be an upset? Yes. Has there been a lot of upsets in this tournament? Yes. Do I think that we're now at this point here where we're into the knockout stage and the cream of the crop is starting to rise? I think now we're going to start to see the upsets start to lessen. I don't know if it's a huge upset if USA wins this game. Obviously USA is ranked pretty highly, but
16 on the last FIFA thing that I saw.
Yeah, they are they're a good team. They're a very young team. They're very banged up. I think there's some, obviously the coaching matchup is going to go. I think the coaching matchup goes to the Netherlands.
Well, let's talk a little bit about, from your standpoint as a coach and a former, player, the situation is, give me what you think the USA has to do to beat the Netherlands and what the Netherlands has to do to beat the US.
The US has to control the midfield, which they could do here. Tyler Adams has been very big. They got to score. They're going to have to score.
Yeah, that's always good.
I don't think the U.S. is going to be able to keep the Netherlands off the board. At some point, Gakpo's going to score. At some point, someone's going to step up and score. It is who's going to score the goal for the U.S. Is it going to be, Pulisic, who's still banged up? They don't really have a 9. I mean, when you look at the lineup, let me present the screen here. When you look at the lineup here, it's as a 4-3-3 with Jesus Ferreira in the middle, Timmy Weah. Timmy Weah could probably score here. Pulisic out on the left. Here's your guy. Memphis Depay. He's starting to get healthy. He's going to be a little bit dangerous. Their goalkeeper is a monster. He's like 6'8". Noppert. But, they play the back three with Timber, Van Dijk, Ake, Daley Blind, and Denzel Dumfries on the outside getting wide. It's basically 5-3-2, and they're playing defense 3-5-2. Their midfield is just okay. De Jong, he's come under a little pressure this whole year. They have some players coming off the bench. Xavi Simons is pretty good. He's young, though. Their guy is here, Gakpo. For U.S., Tyler Adams, obviously the captain, youngest captain in the tournament. He's going to have to control it. Walker Zimmerman made the mistake in the first game. He's going to be under some pressure. Ream and Robinson, obviously the two Fulham players out wide on the left center back and the left back for U.S. Yunus Musa is very good. Weston McKennie starts again, but he's banged up. I guess, I don't know. I guess he's good to go. I mean, he's probably only got 60 minutes in him. Maybe I would have probably switched that and gone the other way, started Aronson and, brought him off the bench. But, this coach doesn't change stuff. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Tell us where you're from, folks. Welcome to the watch party. And we know we've got friends from the Vibes in Malaysia watching us. To those of you in Malaysia, a happy almost Sunday morning, because they're only an hour away from bringing in Sunday, and we greatly appreciate they're going to spend the wee hours of the morning with us. Thanks to Inside the Nation, and they're a coast to coast grand group. We got Sports Talk and News Talk Florida down in the Tampa Bay area. We've got people from all over. So tell us where you're from. Tell us what you expect is going to happen today, and any questions you might have for Sean. So this is an interactive, fun thing, and we just want you to have some fun, and also to feel free to cheer or jeer or ask questions referees, questions coaches. This is one of those things where it's interactive, it's fun, and we invite you to engage with us. All right, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Welcome to the party. And Sean and I will just keep talking, but we'll also let you know we're about to kick off, and Holland gets the kick. So we'll see how that works out. They're about to do it right now, and away we go. We are playing soccer. We're getting ready for today's watch party, and the Clockwork Orange has the ball.
Yeah, look, it's interesting the U.S. plays the first game here of the whole knockout tournament. I got the other games here. Here's the games today. The second game today is Argentina, Group C winner Argentina against Group D runner-up Australia. The games tomorrow, Group D winner France and Group C runner-up Poland at 10 a.m. Group B winner England and Group A runner-up Senegal at 2 p.m. The games Monday, Group E winner Japan and Group F winner Croatia. Group F runner-up Croatia at 10 a.m. Group G winner Brazil. Group H runner-up South Korea at 2 p.m. And Tuesday, Group F winner Morocco. Group E runner-up Spain, 10 a.m. Tuesday. Group H winner Portugal and Group G runner-up Switzerland, 2 p.m. It's interesting too because let me post the bracket. This is the bracket here. I'm gonna update that.
So far, it seems like the USA has been playing aggressively. They have kept the ball in the, on the Netherlands side of the
pitch.
Well, yeah, I was going to say pitch. I was actually going to say on the their half of the 50. But anyway, yeah.
I got yelled at one time by Mike Brennan.
Yeah.
Because they were playing on an American football field, and I said the 50, and he said, "You're a soccer guy. You know better than that." And I said, "Yeah, half the pitch, whatever.
Yeah, half the pitch, the midline, whatever you want to call it."
On a football field, man. I don't want to hear it.
I'm still, getting over the hangover of watching USC and Utah last night. So if I accidentally slide into a couple of, football, U.S. football euphemisms, I will apologize. By the way, ironically, later today, Australia plays, and they have Australian rules football. So football, it's a football day for some of the players in both sides. U.S. had an opportunity, but was foiled away by.
Look at that. Pulisic is what Pulisic should have scored. He should have opened the scoring right there, and he's offside. He's got to score there. That's a problem. I mean, the U.S. he's got to find the net there. The U.S., if he scores there, it changes the whole game, and he doesn't find the net. That's a little bit of a problem with the U.S. here. I got the stats pulled up here. But yeah, look, they started well here. Netherlands needs to settle down.
That was a massive mistake by the Netherlands, and he ends up punching it. And why didn't he go high with the ball?
I don't know. Maybe he's a little bit nervous here. He's a new guy on the stage.
Because for all intents and purposes, he had an open net.
Yes, he's got to score there. He's got to score. I mean, that's the difference between the U.S. winning the game and maybe them not winning the game here. But U.S. has started really well. But,
For those watching at home, The white is the USA. The orange, obviously, the clockwork orange, is the Netherlands. And I still don't know what the hell color the Dutch goalkeeper's uniform is. It's kind of an aubergine.
Yeah,
We'll say this: the U.S. have been very aggressive in the opening conversations here.
Yeah, you know, this is you gotta make this possession count. You gotta make this, you know, you can't let these chances slip by. They've looked very good.
Okay, so we talked about youth. Okay, how about the young legs of the U.S. versus a Dutch team that's not old, but they're also not very young.
Yeah, no, it's you know, they look, I don't think they can win the tournament. I don't think they're talented enough. I think they can get through this round, and then maybe, I think if Argentina gets through later, everyone expects Argentina to get through. I think Argentina, Netherlands would be an interesting game, but I don't think Argentina will have too much trouble with this Netherlands team. U.S. Look, the way they started here, they look pretty good. The Netherlands hasn't settled down yet, but once again, it's you're 6 minutes into a contest. The game is
Right.
90 minutes, so can't get too excited about
Well,
this.
there's an old saying in sports that you can't win a game in the first 6 minutes, but you can lose a game.
Yeah.
And right now, you have to look at it and say that the U.S. has been very aggressive, which is good, but it may lend itself to a counterattack. And talk for a minute about the Dutch and their counters. Do they have the ability to counter, and who might we be watching for if they do?
Yeah, no, I think they can. They got some pace. Obviously, Gagpo is the guy there. And you see USA corner. They're just under, a lot of pressure early on. USA, this is interesting. Once again, USA needs to take advantage of this early on. They've had so much possession and they've had chances here. They got to take advantage of it.
I mean, they've been spending a lot of time in that 18. So you got whoa, took him down. So here's the corner kick. And Flusik is taking it. So the officials are making sure that no hanky-panky goes on here. And the U.S. is lining up. And that was a wasted corner. Well, as we've talked about, it's not like we haven't had opportunities. We just don't seem to be advancing ourselves in those opportunities.
I know they're all over him. U.S. has another chance here. Good defense there by the Netherlands, but yeah, they've started all over him.
All right, so you're coaching the U.S. What are what's the game plan in your first 15, 20 minutes? They got another breakaway.
Yeah, no, just you want to do this exactly what they're doing. Keep the ball. Can't do that though. Lost the ball.
Well, I gotta say, and this is again, for those of you watching at home, there's obviously a lag between the my watching, and Sean's watching, but they have controlled the pace of. I'm speaking now of the United States. They've controlled the pace of the game so far. They have kept, the Dutch back on their heels. That said, things can change in an eyelash. But at this point, I would say that if I'm coaching the team, I'm happy with what they're doing.
Yeah, no, they've started very well. But once again, you gotta use this pressure and do something. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Pulisic had that early chance, and if that
Right.
goes in, I mean, it changes the whole game. And now, if you let the Dutch settle into the game all of a
Mhm.
sudden, I mean, and start to play, which is, the Dutch haven't looked great at the beginning of a few of the games now, and now
Mhm.
they're knocking the ball all over the place, and they look good. And you've just kind of up 1-0.
I'm assuming that would be the Netherlands.
Oh, Memphis Depay. What a goal.
Well, this was what we talked about, the quick counterattack if the US gets overzealous, and clearly they got overzealous. And
Gakpo starts the attack. I mean, it's a classic counter. USA's pulled it, dragged out of position, and Depay makes them pay. I mean, it's a great goal. No one's marking him. I don't know if that was McKinney. Nobody tracks him. Yunus Musa's standing there. Nobody's within 5 yards. He's right. He's at the spot. I mean, you're not going to get an easier goal than that.
well, I mean, they set this up perfectly. That's a textbook setup. Hello, everybody. All right. So what you just said earlier about that goal changing, the outcome of how things could be done. Now the Dutch are up 1-0, and that puts the pressure back on the U.S. just to score to tie.
Yeah.
All right, gang, tell us what you think. We know you're out there.
The problem is, once again, with these games, that you can't. You have to take your chances. And the U.S. doesn't. They don't have anybody that can score a goal. They have the youngest team here and all this stuff, and they're very good. Look, once again, we're only 12 minutes into the game. But, who's going to score for them? Where's the goal coming from? They don't have a 9. This is the reason why, the teams that are going to win the tournament, England, France, and once again, England and France both have those guys. And France has multiple ones.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mbappe obviously as an outside, and Benzema if he comes back, but Giroud. Who's going to put the ball in the net? It doesn't have to be a 9, but someone that's going to score. Brazil has multiple players. England has Harry Kane and Marcus Rashford in this tournament. Now with this thing, Depay and Gakpo. So who's going to do it for these other teams?
Well, I mean, if you look at the history of the U.S., right, they never really have had what you would call a world-class or even a 9 who could. I mean, Dempsey wasn't a true threat. I mean, he could score. We go back all the way to Landon Donovan. Again, they come to the World Cup. Technically, they're good. They play good midfield. They've got good defense. But at the end of the day, as you just said, it doesn't matter if you can't score.
The problem here is Reina playing. No, he hates him. I think he must have. I don't know what he did, man. No, he's not playing. He can't. He doesn't like Reina. That's clear. Hopefully, the next coach after this guy goes likes him.
Hey, good to see you, Jay Jones.
But yeah, listen. The
and
US,
also Sebastian is with us.
The U.S. is Sebastian. He quoted this at 7 a.m. So thanks, Sebastian, for jumping on early. U.S. is going to get countered to death at this point now. Now they have to press. They're going to press forward, and Netherlands is just going to just counter them to death. And they have Gakpo and Depay. I think that's the reason you need to take the lead in these games. You can't fall behind. It's still early. Once again, it's still early, so it's not that big of a deal yet. But if you push players forward, and you've already seen Netherlands have had multiple chances here going forward. They've
Right.
won, and then the other one, a couple they've had chances here. So, you can't let that happen. Oh, Kieran, the driller. What's up, man? How's it going?
Kiran is in the house. Kiran, how you doing, buddy? What are your thoughts on the game so far, Kiran and Jay Jones and Sebastian and the rest of you? Welcome to everyone who's watching us from around the world. I'm Jim Williams. This is Sean Miller. We're talking about U.S. and Holland. U.S. down by a point at the moment, 1-0, the Netherlands. Greetings to the folks who are watching us over in Malaysia from the Vibes. We got folks from Inside the Nation, which of course is a coast-to-coast group here in the U.S. Sport News and Sports Talk Florida, and we've got friends from around the world watching us, and we really greatly appreciate you being with us today and watching the game with us. Right now, as I said, Netherlands up by a score of 1-0. If you're watching at home, that's the Clockwork Orange in the orange jerseys and the U.S. in white. If you missed it earlier, the U.S. had an opportunity, for all intents and purposes, an open goal, but they missed the shot.
Yep.
For
that.
And about, 8 minutes later, the Dutch do not miss a shot. And so that's how it ends up being 1-0 at this point.
Here's the issue in this tournament, and look, the group stage. People are talking about this group stage. I once again, I thought the hey, be careful. He might be back with United soon in the winter. Apparently, here's the thing. Oh, nope, no. See, now you got the backs, outside backs. That was Robinson pushing forward, and U.S. is actually pushing some players up now. I think the U.S. just needs to they got to relax, calm down, get into the game here. It's early, just relax. But people were talking about this being the best group stage ever. I have fond memories of 2018, and people got that word recency bias. I don't really like that word, but or that saying. Because I've watched every World Cup going back to 1986, so I know. Oh, another counter. I thought that the last World Cup was great, and then the knockout stage games, there were so many really good games. This group stage was fantastic, and we had a lot of upsets. But I don't think the upsets are going to continue here. I honestly think here that you're going to have these big teams in the quarterfinals. Maybe you'll get a team maybe get through. I don't know. Maybe Morocco can beat Spain. I don't really think so, but maybe Japan beats Croatia. I don't even know how much of an upset that would be, but you're going to get semifinals are going to be Brazil, Argentina, or Brazil, Netherlands, or France or England against Spain or Portugal, and you're going to get big teams in the finals. So I talk a little bit about that compared to the NCAA tournament. Everybody likes the the Cinderella stories early in the game, early in the bracket, but nobody wants to see St. Peter's and University of Texas San Antonio in the final. You want to see North Carolina and Duke, and I don't want to see Duke. I want to see North Carolina, but you want to see teams like that. But that's my feeling. Some people might might disagree with that.
Well, I think the casual fan likes the underdog, right? I mean, everybody loves an underdog story. uh, they're not necessarily wanting to see the best two teams on the on in the final. They just want they want the story. And in my 40 years of being involved in this, what I learned, I grew up on the Rune Arledge background, which was make people care about the people who are playing. And sometimes when you get those stories, what Rune used to call up close and personal, and Jim McKay did an outstanding job, the late Jim McKay, doing such a wonderful job of telling us those stories. I mean, who would have known Nadia Comaneci had it not been for, the way that they told the story? So we've got storylines all over Qatar on this World Cup, and I think we're buying into some of those storylines that this USA team is a good enough team to go deep into the tournament, and maybe we're just
they're not good enough.
Up close and personal.
Nah, they're not good enough to do like.
I didn't say it. I'm just saying that.
No, I'm just like I know like if you like Alexi Lalas goes like over like this Netherlands team isn't good enough to be honest. Like once again, like I don't think they're good enough to do much here. I just they're like the reason I think the U.S. like I thought the U.S. had a chance in this game. I tipped Netherlands before the game. I thought the Netherlands was going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Netherlands at plus 110 was ridiculous value in this game as a better. They're a better team. Of course, the U.S. at plus 350 was good value as well. But like, look, I mean, the Netherlands now, and you see now they're minus 278. They're a very good team, but they're not like. These teams are pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're set up, it's just that I think if you put, Tyler Adams on the Dutch team, that would make them better. I think if you put some of these other players, if you switch the teams, maybe both teams would be like a pretty good team, but they're not better than France. They can't beat Brazil. They can't beat. U.S. The U.S.'s ceiling is the quarterfinals. They're not beating Argentina. They're not beating Brazil in the semifinal. Like they can't win the tournament. And moving forward, they have really good players coming through at the next level. But they gotta have a 9. They need someone to score a goal, and they need better. I actually think they need better center backs. Tim Ream is old. He's very good for Fulham. Walker Zimmerman is an MLS player. That's not good enough, in my opinion. You need, I need, you look at these squads of players. Let me pull this up here.
Sean, being a former coach, being somebody who understands the game, why don't we have a legitimate 9, somebody who can score?
Look, it's not just America. I mean, there's other.
No, I understand. I'm just saying. I'm just asking you from that
standpoint. Question. Look, the problem. I've written multiple stories about this on NG.com. The problem in America with soccer, as it is called here, when you have these academies, it's for it costs a lot of money to play. We don't, it's not like in other countries where they find the people and Brazil. The best players from Brazil aren't the people paying $5,000 a year to play for these academies, and going to college and stuff. Look, I mean, Matt Turner went to Fairfield, and it's a good story. But these Kylian Mbappe was winning. Des does play. Jay Jones. He played for Barcelona. And now he's at AC Milan. He plays. He's a decent player. He'll find his level at some point in England, like somewhere. He'll play a lot. But these Kylian Mbappe didn't go to college. Neymar didn't go to college.
Mhm.
And these, the USA is 350 million people now. Like
Right.
Uruguay has 3 million. Some of these
Right.
countries are small. Netherlands has maybe, I don't know, 50 million. France has whatever. Um, we have way more people. We also have people playing football and basketball and baseball and everything. So, the I think the rise of this team has come. I mean, obviously Yunus Musa could have played for England. Some of these players could play for other countries. It's getting better. Play World Cup by I Show Speed. My guy, he was just over at the United games. He was sad though. He didn't see Ronaldo, and now I guess he doesn't like us anymore because we got rid of that bum. But you know, uh,
Well, the
it's
last time you're talking about the quarterfinals, the last time the U.S. made it to the quarterfinals was
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
And look, I mean, they beat and who did they beat to get there?
Yeah.
They beat a CONCACAF team. So
Right.
it is what it is. I mean, they did. They beat Mexico 2-0. Myron cries about it all the time, and I have to give him.
Where's Myron? Is it Myron? Are you out there, buddy?
Yeah, Myron. He's probably hiding from us today because he doesn't like to hear the thing. He's probably here because he knows we're gonna lose.
He'll just pop up at inopportune times.
Yeah.
You brought up a good point about football, baseball, basketball, and I think that I look at guys in different sports and wonder what they would have been like had they spent a great deal of time dedicating their time to soccer as opposed to whatever their sport may be. And I posed this question to Trey Turner, who formerly the shortstop of the Washington Nationals and now the Dodgers. And he said that he enjoyed playing soccer when he was a kid, but baseball just seemed to come to him a little easier. And so I think that the interesting part is we're now getting people, athletes, good athletes, who are beginning to commit to soccer instead of playing, potentially college football, college basketball, or college baseball for that matter.
They have to. The problem with this, they need to commit more to these academies and do stuff. And it can't be about money. Everything here is about money. Any travel sport is about money, and people running clubs are about making money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about the best interests of U.S. soccer. It's the same thing, people run basketball, they travel basketball. It's all about these people seeing dollar signs. The youth sports industry in America is ridiculous money at this point, and probably 80% of the people are not in it for the best interest of people. They're in it to make money, and that's not conducive.
Let me ask you a question from this standpoint. Do you think that the MLS has a responsibility to start to have each one of their franchises dedicate themselves to creating a youth either academy or some sort of local in their areas soccer.
I mean, they
do.
They have it. I mean, it's I think they do. I mean, but just in New Jersey, you have Match Fit and
Right.
and all these things, and it's just I mean, I hear how much it is to play for these. It's just ridiculous. I mean, and you're not these kids playing for these $4,000 and $5,000. They're not doing anything. They're not going. They're not getting scholarships. They're not going anywhere. Nobody gets. You know how hard it is to get a soccer scholarship. I do ESPN Plus for college. They're like Ryder. You know, Ryder's a MAC team. They got no Americans. They don't have any Americans on the team. It's all foreign kids. You're not getting college scholarships, and these parents don't get it, and that's the problem. I mean, you're paying all this money. You know, if you're that good, you will be found. If you're not that, like, you know, I rate for a recruiting site too. I mean, I'm rating these recruiting sites about these, you know, 5 foot, you know, this guy's a 5'11", 230-pound offensive lineman. Look, you're not going anywhere. I'm sorry to tell you, but like, you know, you're not going anywhere. But you know, it's the parents are.
Well, here was my theory of the case of the in the MLS, right? 85% of the stadiums in the MLS are publicly funded in some way, shape, or form. Not necessarily all, but some. Do they not have a fiduciary responsibility to create something in their community to promote soccer based on the fact that they are, for all intents and purposes, government subsidized?
I think so. You know,
you're right. I mean, if I want to play soccer and I have to pay $5,000 to go,
that's the thing. You know, if you go play for like the Union, you don't have to do that. Like, you know, you don't. The main academy teams, like, they don't. You know, it's not like you're not paying to play for those main teams. Like, even at like PDA, if you play for like the highest level team, you don't pay. You're there. Everybody else pays for you. Like, the person on the D team is paying $5,000 to put this uniform on their chest, and you know, say, oh, I play for this. Wow, they're paying for the good people, but they don't understand that.
So the scholarships go to those.
Somebody else is paying. You know. Somebody else is paying, but you know, I see it. You know, it's crazy now. I mean, we have high schools here in the area that are you know, they built fields here from teams, and you know, then those players go through the academy. I mean, it's just the best. U.S. soccer is a business,
right?
I mean, you when they used to. You know, the reason I know that is because they used to put USA Mexico games in Jerry World or you know, in Arizona, where you know there'd be 75% Mexican fans. Like, you're not playing it in Columbus or the Minnesota. Now they're starting to, you know,
right?
You know, they were trying to sell tickets.
I did a USA Mexico game at the Rose Bowl, and it was 100,000 people, and you would have thought we were playing in Mexico City.
100%. That's what they care about.
And you know, it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the atmosphere was fantastic, but it was. You know, it's kind of to believe that 100,000 people at the Rose Bowl, you know, about 15% of them were cheering for the local team.
Let me see. Transfer market.
Just to pick me up to speed, guys. We're at 32 minutes in, and the Netherlands still lead the U.S. by a score of 1-0. If you're watching on TV, they're USA's in white. Obviously, the clockwork orange of the Dutch is in their beautiful orange, except for the keeper, who's in some sort of tie-dye aubergine outfit that looks like came from a 1970s Andy Warhol movie.
Jay Jones, here's Dest's record here so far. You know, he didn't play the first 2 matches. He played a couple. He's come off the bench, really. He's been in the squad for 9 games. He's started once, substituted 4 times. He was a little bit banged up coming in. So, you know, look, they are the champions. So, I gotta. But I brought this up. This, I comparing this. This is the France predicted 11 for the game tomorrow, and this is without um, Paul Pogba, N'Golo Kante, Karim Benzema, the Ballon d'Or winner, the other Hernandez brother, Lucas. This is their starting lineup here, which is ridiculous. Too many. Real Madrid, Griezmann, obviously good player. These guys, Dembele. This is, it's a big difference between this squad and some of these others. And between especially this Poland team. If you're looking for, game, I'll be all over France in that game. But it's interesting too. I mean, we had, we had, see the scores here. We had an English championship game today. There's domestic football. League One games are playing. There was actual championship game, which is not, there's some players in the championship that are playing at this World Cup. So, and then you see, basically next Saturday, you got the day of the quarterfinals, you got a whole schedule. So they're not waiting for this World Cup to end to get back. So,
well, I can't say that I fault them in that regard.
Yeah.
So here we are getting closer and closer to halftime, and it seems like the U.S. is now pushing hard, trying to keep pace, but they just can't connect on passes. I mean, they'll get two in a row, and then that third pass is not going to the guy who they wanted to go to.
Look here. Once again, not to be, I am the genius,
Right.
Soccer genius. The problem in these games, if the U.S. scores early in this game, first of all, it opens it up. You can play, but it gives you a lead. So Pulisic has to score there. And they go down. The Netherlands scores, and they had that. But even if they don't score, even if they keep that, they keep that momentum going. But if you don't find a goal in that first 10 or 15 minutes with all that momentum you had, the other team comes into the game. I see it all the time when in the Premier League or La Liga, when you get upsets, it's because the team, they keep the momentum. They keep the momentum. Maybe they get an early goal or something like this. They find that chance. They take that chance. And the other team just struggles to get into the game. But when you let these better teams, which Netherlands is a better team, get into the game and kind of relax, it's around the 16 game, settle down. Then you give them a goal on top of it. Now all of a sudden it makes this job all that much harder here. I mean, the U.S. is still in it. Look, it's 1-0. If the Netherlands scores another goal, I think they're in a lot of trouble, especially before halftime. But they don't. They haven't scored goals in this tournament. They haven't been behind. U.S. hasn't been behind in this tournament until this game. They were leading Wales 1-0. They were always the England game that, I thought they dominated that game, but it was always 0-0. And they took the lead against Iran in the first half. They've never trailed in a game. So now you're trailing and you can't score and you have to find a goal. So it's not like optimal.
We're getting to the point where it's approximately 38 minutes. There'll be some stoppage time, probably not a lot. And unless the U.S. scores soon, they're down 1-0 at halftime. What they will be, they're not at the moment. But all right, let's assume for the moment that the Netherlands are up 1-0 over the U.S. You're coaching the team. They come in. What do you say?
You know, if you're still in it, you're in the game. You know, you got to keep pressing. You got to take your chance. I mean, first thing I say is, look, you know, we're gonna get another chance in this game. Got to take it. You know, you can't let it go. You got to take the chance. But you know, I don't know. I think he's got to make some changes here. He doesn't like to make changes, which is the problem. I don't think he's going to at halftime. If he was smart, he would. You know, take McKinney off. He's been a ghost. You know, obviously he'll probably score here at this point. But you know, get somebody like you know, get Arrington on. You got to go after a goal. I think maybe you got to change your formation a little bit, a little more aggressive.
What would you do formation wise?
I mean, you keep it. You know, you keep a 4-3-3. I would just take McKinney off. You know, he's clearly not 100%. You know, the problem is he likes to wait till like the 60th minute to do it. You can't do that in this game. You gotta go at halftime. You gotta make, you know, change Aronson, put him on, go for it. You know, he hates Reyna. I don't know who I would take off, but maybe put Reyna on. Let me see what they got here. Ferreira, I mean, he hasn't done anything. I would probably.
Let's say, for sake of argument, that Reyna could play. Would he be playing for you?
Oh no, he's 100%.
Would he be playing now, or would you be bringing him on in the second half?
When or where you said?
Yeah, no, I'm asking if Reyna was 100, right?
Yeah, I think
he's. Would you start him, or would you bring him on at the first opportunity in the second half?
I would just I think you got to make changes at halftime. I would bring Arrington on for McKinney. I would take Ferreira off. I
just to give a different look. Is that the rationale?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done anything, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So you know, it's not like.
What are you losing?
Right? I would put better. You know, to me, I'm taking a better player. I'm putting a better player on.
You're giving yourself a chance to win.
McKinney at 80%. You know, this guy just, he has his own, like, he just has players he likes, I guess. I don't know what his deal is with some of these people. Dest is just, I don't know. He keeps the ball, but he's too slow with the decision making. Oh!
Close opportunity on that one. Looked like for a moment we might see something fun happen. You know, it seems, I keep looking up and I keep seeing the U.S. just fritter away chances.
They had a chance there, but.
Well, that actually, I think, was some actual good keeping.
It's not going in. I mean, he's hitting it at the near post, but it was a good hit. I mean,
he struck it hard.
You got to shoot the ball. I mean, that's right. No, it's good keeping, good size, and that could have been. The thing is, it could have been deflected there, and it could have taken a weird, deflection into the side netting or something. But
right.
Yeah, no,
it's like hockey. You want to put it out in front of the goal just in case somebody screws up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just they gotta make changes. He just doesn't do it. Like, he's too conservative for me. He's just, I think they look. Yeah, man. I think Well, when you're chasing the game now, and you're pressing. You got some players banged up. I'm convinced. McKinney obviously we know isn't 100%.
Right.
Sergino Dest. No. They have the problem with this team is now they're in trouble. Oh, the U.S. is but Manny, I think you're a little bit right. They're almost on the ropes there. Well,
I don't know. It looks like they're expending so much energy, they're going to be exhausted by the time the half is over.
Yeah.
And clearly the Dutch aren't doing that. I mean, they're watching, but they're not overly concerned that something's going to happen to hurt them.
When you go to the betting markets here and you say selected markets. No good.
You can explain
No good. Game over.
I'm sorry, something happened and I'm behind you.
Yeah, it's game over.
So the Dutch scored yet another goal.
Yeah, Daily Blind. 15 seconds before halftime.
Brilliant. So now, the U.S., if they want to, at the very least, come up with a draw, they need to score twice as many goals as they did in the first 3 games they played.
This will be 4-0, 5-0, something like that. This could get ugly. That's a terrible goal to give up. I just don't understand what they're doing. Once again, up Sergino Dest.
Again, Dest. No marking. The final kick of the half. Jeez.
He just sat there, just sat there watching him.
Should have had a box of popcorn. I mean, look, you can't. You look at they. I mean, you just hung the keeper out to dry. There was no. It's. Jeez, look at that. It's like he's walking by the goal and just decides, oh, let me flick it.
Yeah, all on Pulisic.
Crazy. Totally crazy. Well, we're at halftime. The Dutch 2, the U.S. 0. And it looks like, barring some instant goals that we have yet to see, that this is going to be a difficult day for the old U.S. team. Again, we talked about, what do you say? I don't think there's much to say.
Game's over.
Basically, so it goes back to the old Don Meredith line on in Monday Night Football. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
Yeah, if they get the next goal.
it's it's got to be frustrating. I mean, you push everything, you do as hard as you can. Um, you know, where do we go? How do we get there? Right?
Yeah. You know, it's.
I mean, look, it is possible that the U.S. could come back and tie this, but they've made, in their zealousness to attempt to get to a win, no, I'm sorry, to a goal, they've left themselves vulnerable.
Yep.
And that's not good, boys and girls. So, all right, look, Manny's here. Manny's in the house.
Hey, Manny.
Manny, baby, we've been waiting for you here, buddy. Heartbreaker, either way, fellas. Do you honestly think? Okay.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
We'll say we'll get out of the Spain-France bracket. Manny, had you been here earlier, and we did want to see you, so we're not saying any shade here. But earlier we did mention that Mandy's not here to harass us about the USA. But no, Sean just said it a few minutes ago. We had no expectation that the USA would advance, out of the bracket. USA looks like a glorified college. Now that's being mean. Okay, that's just being mean. And major changes will be needed in the locker room. Well, you think that they should change locker rooms? Would that help them if they got dressed in the Spanish locker room or the French locker room? Maybe they'd learn something.
It's.
Well, Manny, look, you're always welcome here, guys. Foxy's in the house. Foxy, morning, buddy. How are you? We got the regulars here, Sean. We got Manny. We got Foxy.
Yeah.
The house is.
Yeah, look, Manny, they're look
in the house.
They're not good enough. It's not. They're not good enough to win this tournament. Yeah, Foxy. Neither of these teams is doing anything in this tournament. They'll both. Netherlands won't beat Argentina. So.
Well, I mean, let's talk a second about. I mean, my pick is France. That's and it's like, oh yeah, what a courageous pick on my part, right? Pick chalk. But I do think France is the best team here and the deepest team. Now, we all know sometimes that doesn't work, but I think this time around it's gonna. And earlier, Sean brought up a point, and it's a very good one, that whether you're watching NCAA college basketball in the Final Four and all that situation of March Madness, we can call this December Madness and November Madness. The cream always seems to rise to the top, no matter how good some of these Cinderella stories are. Cinderella normally doesn't end up getting the glass slipper. They're just playing the second goal by the Netherlands, which was just sick. Well, you don't have to apologize, Manny. You're here. We're all suffering together. Misery likes company, and we're just trying to get a handle on what's going to be happening here very, very soon.
Yeah, look, if you're watching this as a better like Foxy is, or some people are, you're watching it as a fan, two different things. Here they're showing the chance Pulisic, if he scores that, it's over. But he's not. Once again, it's the reason Pulisic isn't playing somewhere. Look, Manny, they're just they're they're not very. The U.S. doesn't have anybody that can score, and they just don't have, their midfield's getting bullied. Weston McKennie's clearly banged up. I don't understand why they keep playing him. He hasn't done anything. Weah, has been all right. They have players on the bench, Reyna and Aronson that could change the game, but it's 2-0 down. So what are they going to do here at this point?
Let me ask you a question. You brought up a point about there are people who are betting, and I know that in-game betting is become incredibly important. Is there anything that you've seen so far that would entice you to do some in-game betting in the second half?
At this point, nah. I mean, I don't even know what you kind of do. Next goal. Well, no, look, I mean, to be honest, next goal, Netherlands plus 118, I think is interesting. I just Tim Weah shots on target over 1.5. It's at plus 250 now. He's got one already because he's had the save. Gakpo, I have him to score. Gakpo over half a goal, over half a shot on target. If he scores there, you got that. But I already have him in that.
So this would not be it would not be something that you're sitting there going, well, okay, I need to make the bet on this. Let's talk a little bit about the second game, which the Socceroos are playing.
Yeah. People are, to me, this game and that game are very similar, although I don't think Australia is very good. I think USA is better than Australia. It's the same kind of game. People are kind of giving Australia a chance. I don't see it.
So stay away from the Australia game.
I like Argentina minus 1.5 somewhere, on the Asian handicap. I just think it's going to be an ugly game. I think Argentina wins pretty easily, 2-0, 3-0.
It could be like that USC game last night where Caleb Williams gets hurt and all of a sudden the defense can't stop you and me from scoring.
Yeah. It's
give us your picks for the winner of the World Cup, boys and girls out there.
When you look at these games here, and I got these up here for with the odds.
Mm-hmm.
Australia, Argentina, I think clear. This is just for me. I thought Netherlands was an easy winner. I bet them. I bagged him at plus 110. Argentina minus 1.5. I like France at minus 1.5. I like England minus 1. Croatia Japan game I'm not going to touch. I like Brazil minus 1.5. Spain Morocco, probably not going to touch that. Portugal Switzerland, to me, Portugal Switzerland is the same as this Netherlands USA game. That's very comparable. I think Portugal wins that game pretty easily. So, that's what I have there. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll hang on to you here for a minute, guys. Let's have your choices. Foxy, Manny, Billy. Billy, good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Let's talk a little bit amongst the group here. Who do you like? Who do you like to win the cup? By the way, if you're out there watching us, which we hope you are, we know we've got folks from Malaysia and Australia and the UK and all around the world, and of course here in the United States. So look, do us a favor. Two things. One, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 10 or 20 on that. and subscribe and ring the bell, because you're part of our family and we want to take care of family. And also let us know who you think is going to be the winner of this 2022 Cup. And Manny's talking. Manny's being an optimist. We like optimists, Manny. We love people who are optimistic. And let's see how they respond. Fresh legs, push forward, take gambles, see what happens. You're right. Coming out of the second half, if they could put up a point in the first 5 minutes, I think that, Manny, would be very, very, a very, very good sign. We have Foxy, 45 minutes left in time in football, nothing over yet if U.S. goal in the first 25 minutes of the second half. So, okay, Foxy, Manny, we all agree with that point, being that we need to put something on the board, and it's got to be quick. And that, I think, and I'm following the theory of the case of both you guys, that, I think, is what you're saying would give them some juice, would get the pep back in the step for the USA, and perhaps get them to a point where they could pull even. And, a draw, which would then put us into penalty, eventually into potentially penalty kicks and extra time. Maybe that's where the U.S. can win it. But you got to get 2 goals first, and I agree with both you guys that, getting something early in the second half, I'm saying 5, maybe 10 minutes in, gives you plenty of time to regroup and play hard. So let's see if we can get that done, and hopefully we can. So Brazil gets a vote from Manny, and you're right. And you know what, Manny? Over the years, that Brazil ability to control the ball with these, if you look at a perfect goal, right? A perfect goal from any team, but specifically from the Brazilians, it's usually a 7 or 8, even more, sometimes a 9 or 10 passes to get the ball to to Neymar or whomever is the person who puts it in the back of the net. So their precision and their passing starts at the back and goes up to the front. It doesn't start with some, in the midfield and move forward. So yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I think that Brazil's ability to pass and to continue to make the ball do whatever they want it to do.
There we are. Back.
What we were talking about, Sean, whilst you were gone, and it was brought up by Foxy, Manny, and the group out here, and that was we all agreed that if the U.S. could score a goal early in the second half, maybe I said before 10 minutes, but they had varying times here, then perhaps that would get us into a point where the U.S. would be able to get some confidence, gain the ability to put pressure on the Dutch, and perhaps level the score. But it's got to happen soon. You can't score in the 90th minute and expect to tie this up. Plus, you also have to play defense.
Yeah.
So that's where that was the conversation we were having while you were off mic there for a while. And we are playing again, by the way. So I don't disagree, folks. And it looks as if both sides have the same complement of players that they had, the same people playing as they did in the opening. So I don't think that's changed. Your game hinges on Pulisic and Ray creating. I can't argue with that. That seems to be.
Oh, he put Gio Reyna on. Wow.
Wait a minute. Lightning's about to strike. Yeah. I misread it. Didn't. Oh, there he is. Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to get a bigger television. I guess. Or better
Now
glasses.
you threw him on to blame him here. I threw this bum on and he didn't do anything.
Right. It's the bus time, right? Yeah. Let's.
I need Gakpo to score. I need Cody Gakpo to score here.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Right now, again, USA in the white, the Dutch in the orange, the traditional orange. It was after the Stanley Kubrick movie that the Dutch got the nickname the Clockwork Orange because they always wear orange. Up until that time, many people thought they were just the University of Tennessee. No, I'm just kidding.
They got the.
I'm not so sure. As big a fan as I may be of, the Netherlands, I don't think I could wear and get away with wearing one of those orange blazers.
That's one of my. My posters down here, my paintings down here in my sports bar here.
What, did you wear an orange jacket?
No, my Clockwork Orange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, cleared off the line. All right, we're back in it, maybe.
Yep.
Nope.
We'll take it any way we can get it.
So cleared off the line there. Foxy, look at the USA against it's a I think they had chances against England to win the game. They can't score. That's the chance. But when Pulisic had the chance there, he had to put that away. If Pulisic scores there in the first 2 minutes, it's a completely different game. But I mean, you, Foxy, you're like me. You've watched a million games. When you see these FA Cup, when you've watched Netherlands almost scored their third. When you watch these FA Cup upsets or something like this, and you get that early goal from a team, look, sometimes I've seen Manchester City go behind and then all of a sudden they score. It just makes them mad, but. Sometimes, it gets them going and they can pull off that upset here. And obviously this would be an upset. Wow. Walker Zimmerman almost put it in his own net.
Well, a few games ago, it was his penalty that he might as well have put it in the back of the net because it ended up there anyway.
Yeah. Ridiculous giveaway, guys. Simple return passes. Hey, Manny, do you coach or do you play here? Obviously, I don't know if you guys know, if anybody's watching, I've talked about this, my background. Obviously I played baseball in college, but I ran the program at Columbia, the soccer, the intramurals, and all that stuff. College former, okay. So I went to Columbia. I ran the program there. I've covered it. I've coached up to U23 level. I have up to a UEFA B license at some point. Maybe this winter I'll get a UEFA A, if they allow me. But I coach. I've covered it since 2013. Frenjie.com for basically for 10 years now. I've been covering the Premier League, the Champions League. I'm a Manchester United fan, so I've been to 120 120 Manchester United games. I'm always over there. But I've been to games in Portugal and Spain and Netherlands and Wales and France, and all over the place. Been to the Nations League final, Champions League final, stuff like that. I mean, when but Foxy comes from. I mean, I think obviously as a high level player. I mean, you kind of can see, what the team is lacking. I think, Tyler Adams is obviously a very good player in the middle of the pitch. I think Aronson is really good. Yeah. Oh, you got a bar in Florida, Manny? Man, you have to hit us up. We're looking to do some stuff there. You might have to talk to Jim here. Looking to do some stuff down at bars there. Yeah, that would be awesome. Maybe we'll fly down for an event. Maybe you could come up here. I'm outside Philly. We're gonna have the World Cup final.
What's up, boss?
So yeah, that would be good.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
What's that?
I'm sorry, you mentioned.
Yeah, he's got a bar down in Florida.
He's got a what?
He's got a bar down.
In Florida. Whereabouts?
Yeah, Manny, where's the bar? Maybe we'll stop down there. But
maybe we can help you out.
Yeah, we're trying to do some. We're trying to do some stuff here with some bars and some streaming and stuff. So yeah, listen,
and some folks at the.
Send me a message on Instagram here.
Manny,
Tampa Bay. Oh,
Tampa Bay. All right, Manny.
Hey, there's my email. 57 times.
I run a place called Sports Talk Florida. So you're in the Tampa Bay area, and let us know. We always like to help take care of our fans. So
yeah,
you're in the Tampa Bay area. I got you covered, brother.
Yeah, we got the Jim runs the Sports Talk Florida site and big in with the Tampa people down there. So next time I'm down, my buddy Amaro Pereira is down there. He moved from here. He's a big soccer guy. He moved from there. I think he's in Sarasota now. So yeah, awesome. That's awesome, man. It's great. We'll definitely get some stuff.
That should be Gmail. I screwed that up. Let me do it again. Yeah, we do a lot of fun stuff. We've been invited to do a Buccaneers pregame show, and Sean and I will talk about that and get back to you. But Tampa, St. Petersburg's a good area for soccer. There's a lot of kids that love to play. It's my email for everybody who needs to get in touch with me. Hold live feed at let's hold a live feed at the bar in Florida. I'm down with that. We'll pull Rock Riley over there and just put him in the building and let him work with us on that.
Yeah, that's right.
We got folks there. We got folks, frankly, all over the world. So wherever you are, just hit us up, gang, and we'll get to you. So yeah, send Sean and I an email. Happy to talk. So the man in the aubergine outfit, better known as the goalkeeper here, we got. All right, guys, we talked it. It's right now at 56 minutes. We need a score in the next 10 minutes, I would think, at the very least. What do you think, Sean? If we could get a goal in the next 5 or 10 minutes, would that? Do you think that would push the pendulum in our line for for getting together and
I
getting
think I think so. I think we if they get a goal, I think the next goal is big. Obviously, 2-0 leads are tough. So you got to get the next goal, and you kind of get back into it. We might have a guest joining here in a
oh
couple minutes. My guy Mike Ortiz, who's a big soccer, basketball, all kinds of stuff. I've known him for a long time. He used to run a site called, I don't know if he might still do it, DYST now, up in Syracuse, and he writes for Betway and all kinds of different. There he is. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Sean?
Hey, not bad. I got Jim Williams on here too. I was just explaining, talking to him about the DYST now days. I forget. I think that was maybe how long? When did you start that? That was in college, so that was 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was I believe 2011. My senior year of high school was when I think we launched it, and yeah, it was it was a long time, and it was great times. We met through that, met a bunch of great people through that. It's
tell us
crazy.
a little bit about what it was.
Yeah, so it originally started as an all sports newspaper. It was print only,
Uh-huh.
and it was based out of Syracuse, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I would pretty much just go around to local restaurants, bars, whatever, getting advertisements for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would print the newspaper, and we would distribute it, monthly throughout the Syracuse area. And it started picking up where, it was really just a couple of my buddies writing articles for me. Really, the first issue was like all me writing it. A couple of buddies, wanted to join in, start writing. And it kind of just grew over time to where it was like I had other high schools like in the area, or like,
Mm-hmm.
30, 40 minutes away trying to write for me. And then it grew to like Pennsylvania. And then we just started going, United States wide. And then eventually it got so big where we had to go to an online publication. Then we went online. I had people writing for DYST out in Europe, Japan. Like, we had worldwide coverage, which was awesome. And the amount of connections that we all made through it was pretty crazy. And, it's funny. I was talking to a buddy the other day. I wish the site was
Do
still
you
up and
do you still have it going, or
No, so we so go. It
you
was
were
originally,
basically were the athletic?
yeah, it was essentially that before I guess the Athletic became a big thing. And
Yeah.
No, I wrote for I
So
was writing stuff. I was writing soccer and all kinds of stuff for him.
all stuff, yeah.
I forget where I found. I forget where I found it. There was you had an ad somewhere, and I responded to the ad, and I started writing. I forget where it was. But you're in Tampa, right?
I'm in Tampa, yeah.
Yeah, Manny.
ah,
Mike is in Tampa. Manny's got a bar down there in Tampa.
what are you doing? What are you doing in Tampa, Mike?
I moved to Tampa 2 years ago. I just was like sick of the New York winters. Said, you know what, it's time to enjoy some, fresh air, green trees, year round. Nice summer weather, and moved to Tampa. Loving it so far. It's a bigger city than Syracuse, New York was. But I'm loving it so far. I want them to legalize sports betting down here. We had it for
That
a
would
little
be
It
bit.
was
helpful.
weird. They kind of did, and then they kind of didn't. Tampa Springs. He's at Tampa Springs, Gulf Coast, man. He says.
Okay.
So yeah, Mike. I know Mike is down there, so get something going.
What you doing, Mike?
Right now, it's just I'm kind of just doing sports picks, giving out sports betting advice.
Mm-hmm.
That's really been my main focus these past couple of year and a half. But I'm actually, and I was talking to Sean, I'm actually getting ready to either do a reboot on DYST or at least start back up with another show again that might turn into a bunch of shows. It's funny when I told a couple buddies that I was doing it, they're like, dude, just get the website back up and running again, make the network again, because I had a couple other people that heard through the grapevine that I was making a show, and they're like, they want a show. And
well, tell you what, Mike, we should talk, you and me and Sean.
Yeah,
we got a few things going here that might be helpful to all of us.
Sounds good to me. I'm definitely interested.
And by the way, I grew up in Tampa.
Oh, beautiful.
And moved away about 10 years ago. I started Sunshine Network and then left. It was so I used to live at Howard and Bayshore.
Oh, nice.
So wasn't too far from downtown.
Yep, that's right near me. I'm in Soho right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Thank
Counter,
you.
come on. The game is yeah, you're right. We're paying attention to the game. We're just saying hi to Mike.
Foxy, I put Mike's Twitter handle. It's at Trust Ortiz in here. Foxy, if Foxy's kind of he's down in South America, English guy down in South America, but he's starting to bet some American sports here: football, college football, basketball. So he's looking for basketball. Or Mike is your basketball guy. And then, Manny as well. Yeah, the Mike is your guy for basketball. I mean, if you see his plays and his picks all the time, he's out there winning every night. So he's your guy.
We had a nice player prop player last night.
Yeah, I watch. I watch that. I'm obviously more of a soccer guy, and making some subs here. Finally, Brendan Aronson coming on, and Haji Wright is going for it now, and he's going for it now about 20 minutes too late, but it is what it is. He's got somebody's hurt here. Oh, Anthony Robinson, the left back. But he's gonna go for it. I think he's a little too late.
Well, it looks like they're making some more changes. And
what?
Still 2-0.
Anthony Robinson is down there, but they're going to make attacking subs. Hey, Mike, what you got? Anything you like? Any? I know. I talked to you. He's wearing the Copa Mundial. Yeah, that's what I got, man. Those are that's what I used to wear, Manny. I was a goalkeeper, so I still got them somewhere. You have anything going tonight with these? What do you do football too, Mike? Or
oh yeah, yep, we do. I do NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football. Those are the ones that really stick. So I don't really get into UFC.
Were you a little stunned last night? Were you a little stunned last night by the USC game, or?
Oh my God! So I actually stayed away from that game. I was,
I liked Texas San Antonio last night. I didn't really like that game, but
yeah, Utah had their number earlier in the season with USC, and I watched that game, and it seemed like a lot of people were on USC because they were like, okay, this is a must-win game for USC, because if they lose this game, then they're out of the college playoff. That wasn't enough for me to get on the USC hype train last night, especially because Utah already had the confidence of beating them once, so they wanted to play spoiler again. And USC's defense was just absolutely atrocious last night, and it stinks because this was probably the most talented team they've had since the Leinart and Reggie Bush days, and
yeah,
God, it was a terrible.
Though, Mike, I followed that. I follow the Pac-12 far more than I should, but nevertheless, the thing that I didn't understand why Lincoln Riley kept Caleb in there, because he was hurting himself and he was hurting the team. I mean, He made some passes, he made some plays, but at the end of the day, you can't. That game was not lost because of the offense. It was lost because for some reason USC can't play defense. I mean, they made Cam Rising look like the second coming of of Joe Burrows. I mean,
They did. It was crazy.
I mean, look, I have great respect for Cam Rising, but he ain't that damn good.
No.
What like you usually have I mean your card you I know you usually have like 5 or 6 plays a day, right?
Yep. I usually go, right around there. Some days, we go.
Sounds like it would fit nicely on the Capital Sports Network.
Yeah, we got to get him on. We got to get him a show here.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm down. I'm absolutely down.
Nope, you and Sean know each other. Maybe we'll talk this week and see what we can do.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I had a nice.
And I got some people down in Tampa can help you out there.
Beautiful. That'd be beautiful. I'd appreciate any of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
It's funny what you're talking about with the newspaper bit. There's a guy in the Baltimore area who basically created. He had his own little newspaper first. It was a weekly newspaper on sports, and then when online came, he was able to branch it up a bit daily, and at the end of the day, he ended up selling it to Ted Leonsis, who puts it on his streaming network, which is Monumental. And I know Jeff Vinnick has a streaming channel that he's trying to launch in Tampa. So you never know what might happen.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So meanwhile, back at the ranch, nothing has happened. It's still 2-0, and the USA still can't put a ball in the back of the net. So when last we left you, that was the scenario. The time was just different.
The thing, when you're watching this now, if you're, I talked to, I saw Mike posted my thing up. He'd asked me about Netherlands or USA, and I said, nah, I don't like the USA this today. Netherlands at plus 100 to me was like stealing money. It's the same thing. The last game, Portugal. It's just when you get to these, it's once again I'll compare it to the NCAA tournament. At some point, these teams that get through, you're gonna have to play up against a team that is better and has been there more and is more experienced and all this stuff. And Netherlands now is just basically doing enough. They've had some chances here, but they're killing the game. Every minute that goes by now, it's when it's 2-0, it's a minute closer to going through. They're just really good at doing this. They're in the Nations League semifinals for a reason. They really could have had a penalty, as Foxy said here.
So they're good at burning the clock.
Yep. They just had 2 really good chances to put the game away there.
Yeah, he just missed that one over the bar.
Yeah, what a save. Double save there, man. He kept him in the game. But USA is dead on their feet at this point. They're out. I mean, it's just wave after wave. Bergwijn now in, and it's just wave after wave after wave after wave at the US net. The game is becoming really stretched. Offside. USA, I understand they have to go for it a little bit here and try to open it up, but you also, he's onside too. It would have counted. You don't want to just completely. That would have counted. You don't want to completely lose your shape But you know, you do have to go for it. But U.S., you know, to be honest, you know, I've been getting a lot of texts and stuff. I mean, the U.S. really hasn't had a shape all match, so it's not like they're in danger of losing their shape. But they're in trouble now because it's just wave after wave after wave. I would say, you know, if you're looking for something here, you know, the third goal is probably going to come from the Netherlands. If it comes at this point, Netherlands doesn't even need the goal; they could just kill the game.
We're out shooting them too, right?
What's that?
We're out shooting Netherlands too, right?
It's probably close now. Let me see the stats. They were at a point. Shots on target. It's even.
Oh, it's even.
Yeah, it's about even. USA's. I mean, today the difference is USA. You know, Netherlands had somebody that could put the ball in the net, and the USA didn't. And you know, 2 defensive lapses. It's you know, it's kind of ridiculous. You can't let your guard down. Well, that's the problem. Oh, there's Reina. At this level, when you let your guard down for you know a second, you know you get punished, and in games like this, that's what happens. So, what do you got going for tonight here, Mike?
Tonight, I'm actually looking towards the ice. You know, I like even though the Florida Panthers and the Carolina Hurricanes, they've kind of been trending. I don't want to say toward downwards. You know, there's still 2 good hockey teams here, but I like Florida Panthers and I like the Carolina Hurricanes to both win tonight. Florida's playing in Seattle, which, you know, anytime you play in Seattle for hockey, it's a tough environment. And the Kraken have been, you know, they're a really good predominantly team at home. But I think Florida steals this one on the road.
Oh,
And I think Carolina steals this one on the road as well against the LA Kings. We're set to have Jonathan Quick in goal tonight. And Quick's pretty good for the Kings. I like him a lot, but I think Carolina and Florida steal these ones on the road. A little spoiler.
Well, Jonathan Quick was phenomenal 3 years ago. He's had a little bit. He's got dinged up a little bit, and not that I would say that he's a bad bet. Sorry, the U.S. screwed another opportunity.
Yep.
What is it with this one extra pass crap? I do not understand that.
yeah, that's the problem. Like
He's got it right there. But no, he waits. Jeez, that was right. I'm talking about. He was in the box. He had a pretty much of an open opportunity. And Foxy, I gotta believe. I agree with you. They're right. Absolutely awful. What the hell is he doing or not doing?
goal! You got scored.
Well, there you go. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Hey, there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance here?
Hey, look, I'll take the chance. Manny, baby, we have life. You guys, I'm gonna throw this out to the class. You guys have probably seen Princess Bride. So there's the line there where they take the prince to Billy Crystal to revive him after he's dead. And Billy Crystal says, I've seen worse. So we've seen worse. It's 2-1. The place is rocking. And that was one bizarre goal that the U.S. got. That's just, look, I'll take it anyway, guys. But went off of somebody.
That's what you need, a little luck, though.
Did you tell who it went off, guys? It went off of one of the Dutch players, I think. Oh, off the heel of the Dutch player.
Rate gets the goal, but yeah. And now now the Dutch have had these chances to put the game away, and now
right.
Now you're right back in it.
Now the house, there's there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a game. Don't go anywhere. Drop that remote.
Oh, goalkeeper's out. Now U.S. is all over him again.
Foxy, you were a prophet, my friend. Told you the one goal changes the game. Holling is panic. I'll take that. I'll take panic. Throw in anxiety. That'd be good.
Oh,
Any other adjectives you guys want to use? Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah. Yeah, the keeper on the Dutch side starting to get a little bit antsy.
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, good. You know, sweeper keeper comes out there and gets that.
Uh-oh. They almost counterattacked on us. Hey, look, not that I'm complaining, boys and girls, but it'd be nice if you just smack that little like button up there. That's very important to our analytics. So, you know, do us a favor. Take a second, smash the like button, subscribe. And if you feel compelled to do so, we greatly appreciate you sharing it.
I know Mike is going to be. I think he's got to head out soon. But yeah, Mike.
Nice having you in the house, Mike, and stay in touch.
Mike, yeah. If you have to head out, let me know, and then I'll call you later today, and we'll try to figure something out.
I'm back.
Okay.
About 5 minutes ago, my Wi-Fi went out. I'm sitting there talking to nothing. So I realized
he's putting it forward on. I mean, he's putting he's putting Xavi Simmons on. Xavi Simons. That's crazy now. The U.S. has changed the game.
Who's that young guy that we have?
Who's the what?
Who's the young again? I don't.
We have a lot of young guys.
Brendan Aronson is the guy. You know, he's the Medford Messi, they call him. He's on now. He's number.
They put him out there.
Yeah, he's really good.
Hey, you know what we can do now, Sean? We can now say, well, you know, at halftime they put rain on and change the complexion of the game.
Yeah, that's right. He's number 11 there. Pulis is just dead on his feet. It's crazy here. You got number 11, and his brother, Aronson's brother, is going to be even better, I think. So some people will say.
Where's Arison's from?
Medford, New Jersey.
Okay, another Jersey boy.
There's one is in the Union. The other is he might be in the Union, but he's already getting looks from Dortmund and a bunch of European clubs. They're both very good. The whole family is pretty good. Back post. That game over.
Yeah, we didn't need that. The Dutch continue to roll.
Daily Blind.
It's another, again, it's another counterattack.
Dumfries again, man. Hey, Foxy, I'll tell you what. I know I know there's a bunch of teams linked with him at this point. I know we're linked with Frimpong.
That was a beautiful goal.
I would. Well, once again, he's wide open at the back post. There's nobody more for the third time this game. No, the third time this guy. I mean, I could have scored that. I could have scored that.
Yeah, that says it all. Oh man, let's see. This is a keeper's nightmare. Oh crap. So he's going to be on Manchester United, do you think, before the end of the year?
Dumfries, I don't know. Hopefully they're linked with him. I think he's pretty good, but I think going forward.
Yeah, I agree with you, Coach. 3-1 in the 81st minute. Turn out the lights. The party's over. Time to reserve the window seats on the flights home.
Yeah, Manny, look, I'll be honest. Like, look, you can't, but it's just shocking defending. Manny, where's the, you got Tim Ream looking around like, oh, you got players, you're just not. All 3 goals have been just complete lack of awareness from the team, and counters. That wasn't really a counter, but they're just not not good enough. Then at the end of the day, the team is good enough to get out of the round, get out of the group with 2 goals. They got a win, a 1-0 win over Iran. They got a 1-1 draw against a terrible Wales team, and they got a 0-0 draw against England. So they got out of the group, but they're not that good. So, I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is.
You said at halftime this could get ugly.
Look, for 5 minutes here, they were in the game, but now it's now that now you got to press forward again, and so there could be another goal here somewhere.
This is like Mike last night's SC game against Utah. SC would take 6 minutes, drive the ball down, and get a score. Then, they're close, and then all of a sudden, 75 seconds later, Utah's put a touchdown on the board.
It was. You're not lying.
Isn't anybody on this defense capable of recovering someone? I thought the U.S. would keep it tight in a boring game to extra time, but defensively awful today. No one will be worried about playing the Netherlands.
This is
bang average.
When I look at this game, if you're looking for some value, as bettors here, in the rest of this round, right now, I would look at Portugal, basically the same odds as this game against Switzerland. It's the same exact blueprint here. You can get Portugal basically even money. Portugal's going to win that game. It could be like the same exact kind of game. But I like Netherlands today plus 100. I backed them today. I just once again I'm a Manchester United fan, I think, and Myron knows that first. I don't know, Foxy. I don't know how you feel. If Foxy, if you care about England, or if you're new, I know you're Newcastle before or whatever. I don't know if you care about England more than Newcastle, but I'm sure you don't. It's like Mike. Who's your basketball team? Lakers, right?
Yep, that was a big win for us last night. I think.
Yeah, what would be more important for you? USA to win a gold medal or Lakers to win a title? Is it even a close question?
It's not even a close question. It would be Lakers to win a title.
Yeah. It's like for Manchester United, for me, Manchester United to win, the Champions League, or USA to win a World Cup. I don't like. It's not even a question to me. I just don't care about. I'm a Manchester United fan. I don't really.
But Sean and Mike, that really speaks to. If you guys have been overseas, Sean, you spend as much time in England to the point where you almost can vote. The thing is, we are not necessarily, as much as we say it, we're not really a nationalist country from a standpoint of, do we want to see the USA side do well? Yeah, sure, of course. But, as you just said, a Lakers win of the championship, or Sean, a Premier League title and perhaps a Champions League title for Manchester United means a lot more to you. And that's not a bad thing. It's just the thing. I actually remember in a meeting having, one of the guys, we're in the UK. One of the guys from, in the meeting said, "Look, I got to get home." And I said, what's the rush? Are you okay? And he goes, "Yeah, I'm fine, but I don't want to miss tonight's, international badminton championship. The British are in it." And I'm like, and I laughed. I said, "Are you serious?" And he goes, and he looked at me like, of course I'm serious. So there's more of a nationalism to some of these countries that we really don't relate to. And it's not a bad thing. It's just the way we were brought up and the way things go. It's the casual fan. The casual fan, yes. Okay. The casual fan, they're going to root and be passionate about it. But, the average sports fan, nah. If you look at the Olympic sports numbers, those who identify as sports fans who watch the Olympics basically is a number that's below 50.
Yeah, it's the reason the Olympics do a lot of the programming for like the women and
right. Absolutely.
Just that they have the sports that are that appeal to whatever they see or whatever and then like the hardcore fans, those games are on like whatever, right? Basketball's on whatever channel or whatever.
Well, I do remember people watching, basketball, Olympic basketball, but it's been since was it 94 Barcelona?
92
Barcelona. I worked that Olympics, and I remember going by and seeing the state of the basketball, but that was the dream team. When David Stern was asked, what do you expect and hope to get out of this? And he said, "I hope that within 10 years that the Europeans and the Asians are as good at this game as we are." And, he understood that for the league to get better, they had to grow it around the world. And he understood that going to the Olympics would be the way of doing it. I don't think they, obviously they don't need it anymore. You can go into any, I'm sure, Sean, you've been in a number of sporting goods places. I remember in Paris, you could buy Michael Jordan's jersey anywhere in any sporting goods store there. Couldn't find anything. You couldn't find a Dallas Cowboys jersey, but you could damn sure find 5 or 6, jerseys. And I have friends who wear NBA gear that, in other countries, who have never either seen them play on television or, the team that they have on television or, obviously in person.
Yeah, I know Mike is big NBA guy. He's been around some people from all over, and I think has seen how big the rise of the NBA has been overseas and stuff, and France, it's real big, and it's interesting to see how much how big these sports. But that on the flip side, I think you can kind of say how big soccer is getting now.
Yeah.
When you go into like the NFL locker rooms and stuff, and you talk to these NFL players or NBA players, or you hear rappers now talking about it. 21 Savage talking about he wants to see Arsenal win a title. I mean, the soccer is becoming much bigger now, and I think the World Cup is it's
unique.
It's a good event. It's a good event, but it's getting in the way of my Manchester United games now. So let's get it over with so I can see Manchester United play on the 20th. So, and I know Foxy's the same way. You know, he wants to see Newcastle. You know, now that Newcastle is finally good after being so bad for so long, you know, he's ready to see that. And I think Mike. I mean, you've been watching some Premier League games and stuff as well, and then in La Liga and stuff, right? I mean,
Yep. Yeah. I've gotten into it a little bit too, and you know, and don't quote me on this, but you know, I got the reason I started liking soccer a lot too was because of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You know, so I'm sad he's sitting out in the World Cup because he's hurt, I believe, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and Sweden's not playing. They didn't make it, but he was banged up. That's why they, you know, one of the reasons maybe they didn't qualify. But you know, yeah, I think that's, you know, when he came over here. Yeah, look, I mean, Derby, I don't know. They had chances. They're just not. This Netherlands team is better. But they had chances, yes. But yeah, you know, I think, you know, when Zlatan came over and played for, you know, for Elliot for the Galaxy, I mean, it was, you know, Beckham obviously before him and stuff. It's kind of these players playing, you know, when if a Messi comes here and plays for Miami, it's going to be the same kind of thing. But yeah,
I think Messi will run the MLS even at his age.
Yeah, yep. I mean, and it's more about, like, you know, once again, I mean, you know, if he comes here, he's the biggest, you know, he's the biggest player on the planet, obviously. You know, him and Ronaldo. So, you know, it's getting a name like that is big. But you know, I just, you know, the MLS is getting better now. Yeah, look. Here's the thing. This is the youngest team in the tournament, Derby, and you know this is, you know, it was important for them to get to the, you know, because Mexico didn't get there, Canada didn't get there, Costa Rica didn't get there. They're in the round of 16, and you know, it's something to build on ahead of the World Cup in 2026, which we were hoping. USA grow up still amateurs. Yeah, look, once again, here we go. You know, they got to build. They got to get better. They know what they got to do. There's no qualification now for the World Cup in 2026. So, you know, I think this was kind of big to do that. But yes, they're not good enough. And the problem I have with all these people talking about, you know, oh, you know, Alexi Lalas is going to come on and say, blah, blah, blah. Look, every other country, if you go out in the round of 16, it's embarrassing. If England goes out in the round of 16 to Senegal, it's embarrassing. The coach will get fired. If Brazil goes out, the coach will get fired. If Spain goes out, the coach will get fired. Like, all this stuff. You can't be, you know, it's not good enough. You have to try to win the tournament. If you're not trying to win, if the round of 16 or the quarterfinals is your goal, that's like a loser mentality to me. You got to try to get better. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good mentality to have.
No, you're settling for mediocrity.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why the USA, that 100% is why the USA is never going to do anything. Doesn't matter. We had the talent, and now we're just looked at. So it's a joke. Yeah, no, you know, look, they went for it. They had the chance. You know, if Pulisic scores, I think it's a different game. But yes, you know, they were in the game 2-1. They gave up the late goal. They need to start sending Derby. You know, they got to continue to send players to the Premier League. You know, Anthony Robinson and Tim Ream and these players. You know, send players to the Premier League. Send players to these leagues. If you're sending players to the Premier League, the league, you're going to get better. The team will get better, and it will be looked at as stronger. You know, that's the important thing. You got to send players to the Premier League now. It's the best league in the world.
Well, you know, for now, let me ask you this question. I mean, we're about on the precipice in Australia of having a women's team that might have, you know, might land their third consecutive, you know, World Cup. In truth, there's only one other professional sports league in the United States for women. That's the WNBA. Mm-hmm. Is it because of the lack of other sports that we, meaning the country, by the way, it's final for those of you out there who don't know or haven't been able to keep up on the stream. It's the Netherlands 3, US 1. It's official over now. So the window seats will be being claimed here pretty soon. It's just that, you know, our theory of the case earlier, and you mentioned it, Sean, was, well, you know, you got great guys playing basketball, great guys playing football, great guys playing baseball. You know, there's so many other sports. Yes, soccer's gaining its foothold, but on the women's side, you couldn't ask for a better scenario for the U.S.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
and again, I'm just saying their options, their meaning the women's option, is really you play soccer or you play basketball.
Yeah, yep. You know, you know, the thing with the World Cup next year for the U.S. is the game. You know, it's in Australia, so it's going to be at 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning. These guys crying about this. You know, you got to take your chances, man. You know, I don't know. But you know, I just Foxy, a lot of the countries with talent with nothing. That's the thing. I mean, you know, only one team is going to win this World Cup. You know, and the teams that aren't going to win at this World Cup, there's teams at this World Cup that aren't going to win that are much better and much more talented than the U.S. 100%.
Right.
You know, England, you know, Argentina, Brazil, France, all down the line, Croatia, whatever. So, you know, you just got to get better. You got to get a better coaching setup. You know, this guy Berhalter's not the answer. He's not good enough. But, you know, it's whatever. Okay,
so you know, you were mentioning earlier about the coach getting bounced, right? If the coach were to get bounced, and we're not saying he is, and we're not in the business of firing coach, but if he were to decide to step aside, in a perfect world, who's Sean's, you know, top 3 or 4 guys to take his place?
Thomas Tuchel, Arsene Wenger, somebody like that. Go get somebody that can develop players. I think, you know, somebody like that. I don't know. Is what it is.
Would you pull in a coach, you know, from overseas?
Yeah, Tuchel. You know, he won the Champions League with Chelsea, and now, you know, he's linked with the England job. You know, I would go get him and say, look, here's a canvas. They're not going to do it because obviously the guy's brother runs the thing, but if it happens, it would be good. You know, they're gonna try to hire somebody in the system already, which is a problem because the system is the problem. You know, I mean, there's plenty of Mauricio Pochettino. I mean, there's plenty of coaches that would do a great job, but you know, the U.S. doesn't think like that, so that's the problem. So they're showing these goals. The U.S. switched off for all 3 goals. It's just not good enough. They left the spaces, and that's from coaching. The coaching isn't good enough. It is what it is.
Well, you want to put a wrap on this puppy?
Yeah, definitely. And the stream is over. Dempsey, Qatar. Some nice hookah hotspots. That's right. Manny, listen. Send me an email, and we'll talk, or send Jim an email.
Yep.
And then Mike.
Mike and you and Michael talk a bit later.
Yeah, Mike, you there? I think he had to go do something.
Okay. Well, he didn't check out, but that's okay. We have a nice picture of him.
Foxy, Bielsa just got named the Uruguay coach today. Bielsa is the new Uruguay coach. So yeah, he would be perfect, but he is the new Uruguay coach. I'm surprised you missed that, Foxy. I saw that.
That's what we're here for. So let him.
Yeah. I thought you'd be telling me that.
Right, exactly. Well, look, guys, it's been fun. We've enjoyed it, and we're going to be doing some more of these. Only, you know, in college football, basketball, NFL, NBA. So we'll have some fun, different sports, but really appreciate you coming out on a Saturday morning for us. And, you know, it's been fun following the U.S., but now there's more to come. Doesn't mean we're going to stop following the World Cup just because the U.S. is out of it. But anyway,
Mike, you there?
Yep, I'm back.
oh, hey, Mike.
You want to tell, obviously go follow Mike at Trust Ortiz on Twitter, and then you want to tell people where they can find all your stuff.
Yeah.
Right now it's just stuff on right through my Twitter. You can check out. I do about at least 2 articles a week for Betway USA for the NFL.
Hey, Mike, do us a favor. In the comment section over there, type in your Twitter handle.
Yep.
You can talk too, as the same thing.
We're hopefully we're gonna get Mike in here for some post it up there. Trust Ortiz right there. Get Mike in. We're gonna hopefully start doing some shows here in the next coming soon, and as Capital Sports Network starts to build,
to expand to take over the world.
Yeah, we got some other, got Haley Taylor, who I think I'm not sure, I might follow her through. He's only staying for Copa America. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that would be interesting. All right, thanks, Manny. Thanks for coming on. But yeah, and follow Mike and follow us, and we'll have a bunch of shows. Thanks, Mike, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, hey, our pleasure. Okay, boys and girls. Any final questions before we dismiss the class?
I think we are all good.
Thanks to everyone worldwide who spent the last couple of hours with us. It's been a lot of fun. And we'll be back at our normal time, 4 p.m. on Monday. But until then, enjoy yourself. Sean, any final words, my friend?
I'm just now I can watch the tournament with some peace and not have to worry about trolling people on Twitter about the U.S. So
right, yeah. Well, there's that. This is a good thing. All right. Well, enjoy your weekend. We hope that everybody has a good one. Plenty of good stuff to watch if you're into college football today. There's a big championship day. You've got the SEC championship. You got the Big 12 championship. You got the Big 10 championship. You got the AAC championship. You got them all. So we'll see how that plays out, and we'll see on Monday if from the college football world if Georgia is still number one. My guess is they will be, and see if anybody else falls the way of USC. But one thing it does do at this point, it's driving me crazy, and we'll talk about this on Monday. It likely puts OSU into the playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, they'll be in because you're not putting a 2-loss team in it.
No. So. Even though Alabama could probably beat them badly, doesn't matter. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Thank you, Sean, as always. And Mike, good meeting you. And thanks for coming with us. And from everybody in over on the other side of the world, who from Malaysia and Vietnam and all the South Asian areas over there. Australia joined us today. We have people in the house from everywhere, so we greatly appreciate it. And come on back. We're going to have more things to do and lots of fun. And we enjoy your comments and your observations. Okay. All right, boys and girls. For Sean Miller and Mike Ortiz, I'm Jim Williams saying so long. We'll catch you on the backside. And once again, we have a slight problem with our ending.